Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day number 2 of the Summit 2. We're here in the America Qualifiers, and we got a matchup for you. It's going to be Isurus Gaming, sponsored by HyperX, going against Sciencey Stuff, also known as SENS, also known as, and I believe it or not, I actually got the full description for SENS here. It is, oh, I pasted it. I might have lost. Oh, strategies for engineered, negligible SENS. So a bit interesting, but they want to go by either Sciencey Stuff or SENS altogether. Exciting stuff as these teams are looking to duke it out. We got a best of 3 for you. 2 best of 3s today, and they're looking to claim 1 of 2 spots in the official online portion of the Summit. BTS, of course, is bringing you the coverage, sponsored by G2A.com. I am Dakota, also known as Coddle Guy, but joining me, I have a special guest for his first time trying out the co-casting scene. I have a member of the Team Tengen group that we witnessed play yesterday. It's Mr. Alex, also known as Tunurla. How you doing, my friend? Are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, my friend? So, yesterday, you know, you battled it out. Your team put on an admirable performance going against Banner Spirit, but unfortunately you did fall short. 0-2. Just have to first give you props on going strong. Overall, how did you feel about the matchup, I guess, since I have you here?
It was pretty fun, I guess. They played really well.
10 seconds remaining.
It was really hard to break their base.
Yeah, they pulled together, I believe, like a Death Prophet kind of a lineup. They were really holding strong. You guys had admirable effort with good team fight. You played Earthshaker both the games, and there was a couple opportunities that you got to pull out a good Echo Slam, but they also had, speak of the devil, a Spectre on their team who just kind of made things all the more difficult. And for this particular draft and lineup, do you have any favorites here? I mean, Sciencey Stuff for SENS, which is more of a newer thrown-together team of some, I guess you could say, Dota's celebrities, maybe D-list celebrities around the Twitch scene. You got your Ziz and your Ink Dota, who's well known for playing a solid Meepo, but you might have seen Isurus Gaming for quite a while. If you had to put your rares on one of these 2 teams, what would it be?
Probably SENS.
Why? Just based on their individual player skill?
Yeah, I know them better than Isurus.
They must be better because you know them better.
Nah. I just don't know Isurus that well.
Isurus have been around the block for quite a while. Yeah, they're your Argentinian, Southern American team, but they put out a little bit of promise. They did 2-0 in their last round and bullied on through, and they seem to be adapting to this recent 6.82 patch relatively nicely. And, you know, for your own personal first-hand experience, having all of us been used to 6.81 for so long, and now we're in 6.82. Do you feel it's a pretty dramatic change? Was your team really like trying to get used to like this new formata, like how things are working out, or what are your own personal opinions on how Dota's become here in 6.82?
5 seconds remaining.
It's like a lot more team fight oriented type play.
I guess
it's not very much split pushing anymore. But you don't see it as much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it each has its own time to make it work. Maybe a lingering Nature's Prophet here and there. But yeah, you still see a fair amount of, you know, Earthshakers like you grab. I don't see Tidehunter as much anymore, but Centaur Warrunner, I think, has pretty much become the platinum off-lane
Centaur is like, yeah, he's always picked up.
Why would you think Centaur is so good? Like, what makes him good? Because last patch we didn't see him a lot. It was all about Tidehunter. But why now? And I know when I was with F4 yesterday, he just felt that overall not just being able to soak a lot of damage in the off lane, his Stampede just adds a whole lot both defensively and offensively. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the Stampede's really good. You can save teammates or just catch people off guard really easily with it.
Yeah,
makes it really easy.
It definitely adds a lot, so we'll see how they're going to decide to use it here on Isurus Gaming. They grab a Razor, a Skywrath Mage, a Centaur, nothing really out of the norm there. For Team SENS or Sciencey Stuff, they got a Silencer first pick. That's got to be a bit interesting. And they also get Spectre and the Earthshaker. So that's relatively, you know, Silencer first pick. Normally teams would pick this up as more of a counterback. Do you think you have any sort of idea why they would go for a Silencer first? Or is this as unusual to you as it is to me?
When I saw the Silencer Spectre, I thought they were going to try to do some global thing. I'm sure that's why they banned Prophet out on Isurus.
Yeah, I mean, it works. You got Silencer and Spectre who had global presence on their own. And yeah, they do recognize that. They get rid of that. But, well, I mean, what else could we add on top of this? Maybe they go, I mean, I don't know. This could be either a core or just some sort of support Silencer, but AA is another global present hero that could work. Invoker, maybe if you want to get extra global fun with your Sun Strikes. But Earthshaker grab. Well, we'll see. We'll see how they decide to pull it out. Do you think we're going to get a Meepo? No Meepo respect ban yet. And this is Ink Dota we're talking about. This guy plays way too much Meepo.
Yeah, he plays a lot of Meepo.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, he has a relatively popular stream on Twitch where he does get pretty salty from time to time, but he can back up the skill. I mean, many people question that he has a very, very limited hero pool. Like, you know, just pretty much Meepo and who else really else is there. So we'll see if they're going to fall back on that Meepo or maybe he'll show us something else. It was funny because, Nurla, when your team was playing, I was almost saying the same thing about Noobs or Us on your team because, you know, Tinker, right? He got hit hard, and he's a big Tinker player. But he really impressed me with his Ember Spirit play. And then the second game, I believe he grabbed, what was it, the Spectre? No, PA. He played a PA. The item choices, I couldn't help but question a bit. I mean, Asane Jinyasha, I mean, did you have any thoughts? Do you think Noobs or Us is a skilled enough player that he has a pretty big hero pool and you shouldn't underestimate him?
Yeah, he has a big hero pool. He's good. It's just when he does the matchmaking, he picks the heroes that he's gonna win the most with.
All right. We'll see if it's going to be the same case though for Ink Dota, as he'll hopefully flex his muscles. I understand, folks. There's a bit of a echo situation in the game. Hopefully, we can figure out and get that resolved a bit. I guess you can make sure that you have your open mic. You know, that like toggle knob right there where it goes left to right. I don't know if you have it all the way down to the left. Maybe you can put it up a hair towards the right a bit more, and maybe that will help it out a bit right there. So I'll give you a moment to check out those kind of settings. For Isurus, though, they're on the dire side. Now, this was the previous map, grabbing a Shadow Shaman. You know,
Wait,
that would be big.
How much should I put it up?
I would say, you know, like maybe a half an inch.
It was at
Dire team ban.
If that makes any sense.
It was at 2. 4. I'll put it at 4.
All right, sure. We'll hope that works. And for people, you know, if there's still an echo, we'll try our best to make it work. Calm down. You can still hang with us on the stream. You know, we're working with the same delay, so you're not going to be missing too much, except for the fact that maybe you don't want to be dealing with my camera, which I guess I could understand that as well. But anyways, look at as we move on forward here. So Shadow Shaman grab adds a little bit of extra pushing potential. You put that together with your Razor. But Nurla, the one thing that is striking me the most here is there is no touch of Death Prophet. No ban, no pick.
Oh.
Do you agree with me that this is like the hero of this patch right now?
Yeah, really big hero right now.
What is it about Death Prophet that is just such a nuisance? For me, it's like the constant availability to come back with that exorcism. I've seen her get punished mid lane, like 1 in 7 starts, and still be able to come back. Is it just like so good? Like what does it take? Like, what is the Achilles heel like that you think personally to try to shut down someone like a Death Prophet?
Reserve time.
Not sure. So you have to be able to kill her a lot. I guess. Like, you have to be able to kill her in team fights. Otherwise, she's just going to put out a lot of damage.
A heavy burst is something that other teams consider. They go like your Sven, someone who can add additional armor to, you know, be able to have good, strong defense against the exorcism, but then also be able to burst her down with like God Strength or something like that. So it could be done. I could see that. But look at this. Isurus Gaming, it looks like they've done their bit of research. A ban on the Meepo.
Yeah.
10
on the end.
seconds remaining.
Now it's, what is Ink going to play? I don't know if he's playing the core. You know, this is a newer team that I've seen. I know some of the players. I know that, you know, some of the heroes are used to playing, but I don't really know what kind of roles they're looking to fill in here. I know Lumden's been the captain and is in, like, advocate of being sciencey, I guess. But as far as what roles they're going to play, it's going to be a bit questionable. They grabbed the Jakiro, and we'll have to see. Do you know what they're going to be doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tempting Time plays support. Ziz plays mid. I don't know about... Ink plays the 1 position. I don't know what the other 2 play. I think Loom Dun plays support as well.
So that would wager that, from the draft I'm seeing here, this is a potential mid lane Silencer, so that would be your Ziz. I'm going with what you said, and I don't know either. So Spectre is going to be the one. I would imagine that could be
10
Inks.
seconds
So that makes it funny, and I mean I want to give props to Isurus with their research. But
5
if Ink is
seconds
already planning on
remaining.
playing Spectre, they just wasted a ban getting rid of that Meepo. Earthshaker and Jakiro is your support lineup. That is going to be indeed Loomdun and Tempting Time, and this leaves, of course, their off-lane grab. And there is a Treant Protector, and well, my theory goes out the window.
Well, it looks like an off-lane Earthshaker.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him do it before.
I think you've even played a couple off-lane Earthshakers in my games where you've carried me many a time, right? How do you feel
Yeah.
Earthshaker can hold? We don't see too often. Usually it's your Centaurs and your Tidehunters. What is Earthshaker going to look to do to try to have a decent off-lane experience?
Well, there's a few different things he can do. Like, he can block creeps with his fissures, so he can get XP at the tower.
Prepare for
Is
battle.
my mic fine now? My open mic?
I mean, I can't hear it personally in Dota TV, unfortunately. Others are saying there might be a bit of echo, but yeah, remember there's a 2-minute delay, and since your adjustment, it might take some time. But, we can always figure out in between games, and if we have to truck on through, so be it. People can just hang out and stream. I wouldn't worry about that too much, but we'll get it all figured out here. The game has started, though. We're going to get underway, folks. This is the Summit 2, of course, brought to you by G2A.com, and it's the American Qualifiers. These up-and-coming NA Dota teams are looking to battle it out for a position to make it to the main stage of the Summit in the American division, rather, and go against some of the bigger NA teams. And we got an early smoke rolling on here. I'll go ahead and lead out some introductions for your Isurus squad, all smoked up and ready to go. They came off a nice 2-0 victory in the previous round. It's fullback, their MVP-style
30
player. He's actually playing a
seconds to
Shadow
begin.
Shaman, interesting enough. DDX right behind your mid lane. He's going to be playing a Razor. Pepita the core, the carry. Oh, God, Ziz. Jesus Christ. He's playing Ursa, and right behind, of course, we got Nidara playing your Skywrath Mage, and that, of course, will leave Sweet Escape, who's actually the stand-in today for their off-lane play. And I'll go ahead and roll on through. Since you're new to the CoCast game, I'll take the introductions
The
for you.
battle
Unless you want to
begins.
introduce SENS, I'll give you the option right now. man.
No, you got
You
it.
sure? All right. Maybe next time I'll let you have at it. Meanwhile, it's going to be fan fiction over here on SENS, the Radiant team, the Science Squad. They're playing the Earthshaker there in the off lane. Tempting Time. He's playing your support Jakiro. Mid lane, we got Ziz, the Asia Amore lover, in your mid lane, playing the Silencer. Along the bottom, we got Loomdum, their captain. He's playing the Treant Protector. And, of course, that leaves Ink Dota, indeed, playing the one-position Spectre. So that last grab, Treant, it's a bit odd. We don't see Treant too much. He was altered a bit. And 2 patches ago, they changed up his living armor from, it used to be the best thing ever. It was a really low cooldown, constant great usage to be able to support your allies in need. But now it increased cooldown, so you got to be a little more cautious on how you just throw it out there. But he also got a recent Agnum Scepter change. Now, I don't imagine a Treant Protector is going to want to farm up an Agnums right away. But if he gets that luxury point, that's a lot of global vision. Have you ever played a game with the new Ags? I know you haven't personally played Treant Protector too much, but have you been in a game to see what it can do?
I did play it once, just to test it out.
How was it?
I don't know. I don't think it's that good. Because the cooldown's pretty long, and you have to be able to get out. I don't know. I lost the game that I played it, so maybe that's
It must
why
be
I don't
bad
play
because
it.
you lost with it. But yeah, I can understand. If I haven't seen how long the cooldown particularly is, but if it's long, you got to be cautious on where you want to put it, given the enemy team can see it with any sort of relative vision and then just kind of chop it down when need be. But if you somehow get in a position where you can get a lot of them down globally, his
Dire's
ult
middle tower
works
is
in
under
conjunction
attack.
with that, and you can get a very, very big ultimate from all across the map. And with their already kind of global lineup, it could kind of work. So we'll see if SENS are going with some sort of fun little cheeky stratas. Top lane, they are rolling with the 2-1-2. That Earthshaker is just kind of leech up this XP, and he actually has the golden totem. This guy's rich. Wow. Fanfiction representing the totem. Do you have a golden totem?
No, I don't.
Well, that's a shame because I know you're a big Earth Spirit player and you really need to get on that. So there he is showing it off right there. Very, very nice stuff. But yeah, man, fullback playing Shadow Shaman. They've kind of switched roles a bit. Maybe with the stand-in coming in, they've swapped around. Fullback is also a Meepo player, so I don't know. I wish we could be in a situation where we could see Ink and fullback go toe-to-toe with Meepo and really see how it works out as they attempt to micro it a bit. But already now you get to see the lane matchup. Is there any favorites you're calling out here? Are you going to see maybe one of these lanes not doing so well and you could be a bit nervous about it, or one lane that's just really going to be able to dominate?
I'm not sure. They can't really do too much about the center on bottom. SENS can't.
Yeah, he's moving
See,
in
like,
there.
You can just like walk up and they can't do anything.
That's a bit nerve-wracking because the Centaur who's able to free farm can easily get a hold of a Blink Dagger quite quickly, and there's been plenty of games, even the recent WCAs I've casted. Ugh. Sorry, WCA is something else. But, in the hands of the right player, like your Banana, let's say, he can really go to town with that early initiation and just change the pace of the game dramatically. But yeah, right now he's not doing too shabby. He's got 9-1 CS, which isn't too bad for a solo off-lane Centaur. He's not really being threatened too much from Ink. Ink is 14-5. As far as King of CS, it is Pepita right now at 19-6. But touching base with the mid lane here, it is that mid lane silencer Ziz. I know he loves to play this here every once in a while. He's 15-3, going against Razor, who's also 15 but in 6. So it's an interesting matchup. It's not every day we get to see a silencer Razor go toe-to-toe. Any personal thoughts on that? Do you think Razor's been known to pretty much control whatever lane he's in? Do you think it's the same case here, or is Silencer going to be able to give him a run for his money?
Regeneration.
It looks like Silencer's doing pretty well against them.
Well, that's for now, but it looks like they might be rotating.
Yeah,
Nigara's lingering here up to the north, maybe thinking about making a roll in, and he joins his
Yeah,
outlay.
there's 4 mid right now.
Yeah, this is a bit of a cramp right here. I don't even know why Centaur came all the way up here. He's just like, I know they're helping guard out these runes because, now every 2 minutes we get runes guaranteed both top and bottom. So we get a lot more clashes, which I enjoy as a caster and a spectator. But as a player, do you think this new rune situation is to your benefit, or does it make things more scary when you try to go and scout out when they're going to pop up?
It can be scary. I guess it depends on what you're playing. Like, if you're like a Centaur, I'm sure he doesn't care. He's just gonna walk up, get the rune. But if you're like a Crystal Maiden trying to go for a rune, you're gonna be pretty scared.
All right, that's fair enough to say. Yeah, offlaners more and more are slowly picking up things like bottles, not your Centaur, but just to be able to control those kind of runes. And we're getting Clash here at the top lane. There's your Golden Fisher going to fly on fullback, and they get the slow with a dual breath. This might be your first blood here. A few more right clicks, and they'll be able to take him down. They're trying to get Jakiro on the back end of it, and they don't want to overcommit. They turn back, and actually it blows up in their face. It's Pepita to pick up the first blood. DDX rotates in from the mid lane, gets a nice static link here. Fullback is actually very, very low, but there's your Haunt going to come in. Ink's going to clean up that Shadow Shaman and actually commits to moving in, and they also take down the Earthshaker. Wow, this is getting big now. Ziz dubs in with his own global. They turn back. They get a nice takedown. 2 for 2. Make it a 3 for 2 in the end. A slight advantage for SENS right there. That got hot and heavy real quick.
Yeah, that was really good timing on the Spectre ult and Silencer ults. Like, right as the fight started, they both had those.
Having that global definitely helps out in a need like that where you can commit up there and make it happen. Now, Ink does have to take the long journey back towards that bottom lane, but benefiting off that one kill on a Spectre is definitely very, very nice. He's got the early Oov picked up right now in boots. He's saving the 1,200 gold. I actually missed a kill right there, as I like to do every once in a while. Actually, I didn't. It happened right in front of my face. I guess I just was drunk or something. I didn't see the tree get cut down there from the Centaur. So escaping his offlane Centaur gets even something better going for himself, getting a kill. He's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, he had a haste rune. Looks like there's smoke ganking the Spectre too.
Oh, they certainly are here. They're warding on through. Fullback leading out the front here. Ink has to be cautious. He does not have mana for a dagger if he does get jumped on, so...
Yeah, and Global's down.
Yeah, he has no way to get away if he goes too far forward here. He has to know that there's people missing on the map. There's no vision of anyone on the top lane right now, only vision on the mid, but he's all the way in here. This is not going to be good. He's rotating forward. Now he has dagger if he needs to get out, but he gets shackled up. He'll get locked down and bursted if needed here. And desperation to get away. Oh, no. He ends up falling.
I think he could have lived.
He valiantly wanted to go out like a man, I guess, or try to take someone with him. He opted to just try to stay and fight and not really make the retreat, but who knows? I mean, it was a Skyrath there, so Skyrath could have always pulled out a lingering Arcane Bolt and could have been tricky. So I can understand from his point of view. It could have been a finicky situation as far as when to commit or not. But, you know, now Isurus get ahead on the board. They're 4-3. It's early to look at, but it's slightly towards Isurus' favor as far as the net worth goes. And for top lane, they get to start opening up on this tower. And Jakiro with Liquid Fire this is great. He loves this.
Yeah, the Liquid Fire gets so much damage to towers.
Yeah, it'll wither.
Even at the fortify for that.
Well, you got to make sure you fortify, buddy. We always say around this house, you got to glyph it or tick it, all right? Especially on these tier 1s, because you get it back regardless. They added that in the recent patch for anyone who is oblivious to what the hell's been happening in Dota, but you got to make sure you glyph out the tier 1 tower. And even if it's going to be a guaranteed takedown, that's a few more seconds for them to be stuck doing. Oh, they're making a jump on Ziz. The long concussive shot allows DDX to move on forward, get a nice long static leak, but proper rotations to come. Fissure is not going to block them in. It's going to block them out instead, but there's your Haunter coming from Ink Dota, looking to go through, tie it up with a global silence. They take down Skywrath Mage. They're going back for DDX here. They get him down as well. They're trying to go for more, maybe fullback, but no, fullback is able to barely make it out here. He actually gets pretty low from that curse. But it's a 2-0 for SENS, and their global presence is starting to look pretty good here in the early game.
Yeah, really nice fights. They just have to worry about getting picked off from the Stampede ganks.
Which, speaking of which, bottom lane, it's Centaur who's trying to muscle back here Ink, and they know Ink doesn't have Haunt. He does have Dagger, though, if he needs to get away, but he's still holding on to quite a bit of gold. He eats the Stomp right there. The Living Armor, though, is going to nerf all that damage.
Yeah,
and
he didn't even take any damage from that.
Looks like he might just go right for a Radiance, which is always optimal, but he can't give away kills, which it looks like they're going to go for another. There's that Stampede gank you're talking about, though. Pepito jumps right in, slashes him home, and takes him down. Pepito with his own Blink Dagger, benefiting from that early kill, the first blood in the top lane, and all that farm. And, uh-oh, now we're dealing with a Fuzzy Wuzzy who has high mobility, and I would imagine this is going to get scary.
Yeah. He's going to be able to put out a lot of damage.
And they might even consider going for an early Roche as well, with having him on that. And a set of wards. I mean, Isurus have a pretty nice Roche lineup as well. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Rotation in, not from 1, but from 2 here on the side of SENS, behind the tower where they can't see it. They would love to get Pepita. Pepita gets frozen up. There's your Fissure. They're going to take a lot to be able to take this. Oh, the Echo Slam committed, and they get it done. Oh, Pepita lingering around a little too long, and those hidden TPs work out. But they know that they're gone, so they're making a move on Ziz in the mid lane, knowing that no support's going to come in. But that Living Armor helping out a bit. Ziz got to get away from this, trying to juke and jive away from this one. Nice save from the Treant with the root. Locks him in place, but he is not letting up just yet. DDX tries to head him out at the end, but a valiant save. Meanwhile, coming in from the bottom, you can see Nidara gets caught out and burnt down. That Birdman burnt to a crisp. And rotisserie style, Boston Market, if you will, as he will go down and makes it a 7-for-5. SENS trying to take back control of this game, but it looks like Isurus are trying to make something happen mid. Yeah, he wants to run in, but your global silence will hold them back and not allow them to commit on any sort of push. So a promising turn there from SENS after they lose their Spectre there on the bottom lane, but you know, it's a very good game thus far, very back and forth.
Yeah, they're going right back for the Spectre again, it looks like. They're not going to let him farm.
I would wager, and you can put your 2 cents on this one, I would feel that when you're going against either a Naga, when you're going against a Spectre, you got to either control her. You got to either A, take down the towers as fast as possible so she doesn't have anywhere to really spread and farm, or B, just really beat the hell out of her. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah. Like, if you're going to let her farm, you have to get all the towers before they have Radiance. Or just kill them a lot so they can't get Radiance.
Don't be afraid if I'm wrong on something to just tell me that I'm flat out wrong. I've been wrong many times before if I've seen. So I know you want to make me look good, but if I'm wrong on something,
pretty
tell
much
me.
Right. You just gank them a lot so they can't get Radiance. And if you can't gank them, then you just take their towers.
And it looks like SENS want to, you know, they're trying to make it difficult for Ink to be a target with your Living Armor and your global help, but still, they've had an answer to take him down at least twice. He's 1-2 right now. Still at about that 1,500 gold. He opted to get the Magic Wand just for that little bit of extra survivability, but that, of course, puts him away from that Radiance build just a little bit longer. I think if we're talking about one of the 2 situations, Isurus would rather just try to gank her as much as possible. Though they do have a fair amount of pushing power with your Razor and your Shadow Shaman, but I think they would just love to be able to beat Spectre down time and time again and not allow her to get to that pinnacle point. But meanwhile, mid lane, it's still Ziz holding strong here. He's 54-7, and he's going to be the mech holder for his team. So a mech holding a silencer core, relatively interesting, going more utility, but I would feel like, Nurla, this puts a lot of eggs in your Spectre basket as far as late game goes.
What does?
If they want to do Spectre only as like a late game core. The silencer as of right now is going mech, so the damage potential's not there. I mean, I've seen some silencers go like Orchid. That way they do put out that little extra oomph, that little extra muscle. But he's not doing that. He's going mech, so I'm a little concerned at Kissful about that.
It should be fine. He's just going to mech so they can fight. And Isurus should not be able to take down their towers with living armor and their team fight.
Yeah, so far they've been holding it up, but bottom lane they're trying to make it go on Centaur. Ice Path catches right there on the back end, but he pulls out the Stampede, and this guy can take a beating. It's going to take a lot. No problem, man. Micropire going to fly out. Centaur is going to fall, and he crumbles before. It looked a little close, but they end up taking down the big beefcake there. Meanwhile, mid lane, it's Fact Fiction who gets caught out with the silence. It's more of a tift, it looks like, trying to get down to that bottom area. And Pepita gets slammed in the back end from that Fan Fiction. The blink in and the blink pickup helps him out with that one as SENS still fighting back strong. Killing spree there for your Earthshaker. Very nice stuff, and this allows them to segue right into an early Roche, which is already down to half-life. Are you still working on your side of things there, Nurla? Are you with me, brother?
Yeah. I turned my fan off. Apparently people are complaining about it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it sounds better now or not.
It sounded fine to me, but you know, it's them, it's the viewers, it's their experience. You know, they could be trolling. Got to be careful, but do appreciate it. You'll suffer through the heat. Turn your fan off just so you can cast an optimal setting. But, you know, hey everyone, it's not like everyone has the opportunity to cast inside of a optimal studio setting. Sometimes people have full houses of, I don't know, crying babies, police sirens. I know Greg has always like New York or Boston behind him, constantly interrupting. I was in New York City, so people were like screaming, blasting music, sirens going off. It's a situation you're put in. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like Centaur's in a bad situation as he gets rooted up, locked down. This could be back-to-back takedowns of the Centaur, and it will be. He goes down. It looked like he tried to get one last little oomph in there, but it's not going to be the case. DDX actually now moves on forward, gets out a nice link, pulls out the Kai of the Storm, and, well, I don't know if he's going to lock anyone down. There's lots of creeps here, so the damage is not really optimal. There's your Macro Pyre before your Jakiro goes down. DDX might fall for this one. This will be a favorable trade for SENS right now. Killing spree for Ziz. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, you can see another strong slam from Fact Fiction. Takes down your Ursa. So, wow, SENS really taking it to him. They take down both cores and the offlaner, only leaving the supports in exchange for their one only support. They're looking pretty good here, Nurla. SENS are looking pretty good, the Science Boys.
Yeah, and Spectre almost has Relic, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, shit's about to go downhill even more for Isurus.
We'll see. If he gets a hold of that Radiance, things will be very nice. You got to remember with the Spectre Radiance, and he gets that global haunt out there, this could definitely hinder the plan of Isurus with any of their ganking. And they already have a Blink Dagger on your Ursa. You already have a Blink Dagger. Oh, no Blink Dagger yet. He actually has the money for it, and there it is. Okay. Oh, now a Blink Dagger. So all these Blink Daggers, let's say, that Isurus are pulling out, they're like, okay, we got the best initiation you can ask for. We'll just jump in there and go to Pound Town. But the problem is with a Spectre there, if they try to lead the charge with a Haunt, there's really nothing they can do. The constant burn, the constant hits are going to prevent them from getting their optimal blink in.
Yeah, and the Radiance is going to make it really hard from the blink in.
Yeah, Uv doesn't add a lot to that either.
Global, once Ziz has his Agnums, he's getting pretty close.
Oh yes, the Agnums. That adds that a little bit of extra love in on top of those global silences, and he's got to be careful here. He doesn't have much mana and already charging up his Pepita. Looking to dash on in there. No, going to town Ziz. Oh, gets shackled up. This is going to be the end of the silencer. But no living armor, and he pops his side. Pops his Ziz. I didn't even notice that, yeah. Wow. Another slip escape there from Ziz. The second time this game I've seen him get away with a little bit extra.
That's why he was so far up, because he had the Invis.
Just confident they didn't have the detection. I mean, there's not really any signature Invis heroes except your tree, but it's not like he's really putting out the Nature's Guys a whole lot to worry about just yet. So that's good game sense right there, I guess, from Ziz to be so confident and be able to get away. He was locked down a bit, but yeah, he makes his way out and lives on to tell the tale.
He also didn't know that the Shaman had a blink, 'Cause he just barely got it. So that's also another reason why he's out so far.
Well, they got that extra bit of information. Look at look at all those blinks. 4 in the game right now. In fact, Fiction even has a 4 staff on top of that. And you know, since I have you here and you're a big Earthshaker player, it seems like some of the norm builds are the Blink Dagger and the Force Staff. Is there a particular reason why? Is it just Force adds the extra mana you could need? Is it just the double mobility? Is it just being able to hop and bop all over the place?
I like getting it because I can like jump in and use all my spells and then I can get out. Or I can chase people further with it too.
You can also
it's just a good item.
Aid allies as well with that Force Staff.
Yeah, that too.
It works out, especially when you're going against someone who can get chased down from your Ursa, who can get locked down from an Eye of the Storm, or a static Link. That would be very nice. Or push someone out of your Mystic Flare. So Force Staff is actually a really good pickup here for the side of SENS if I do wager. And we could see more of them pop up here. Top lane, though, it's Pepita lingering nearby. Ziz scouts him out, throws out the Curse, and actually is able to blink away. I don't know if the Curse damage didn't kick in or if it doesn't trigger blink. Not sure how that interaction quite works, but he does get away.
When you first throw it on him, it doesn't damage for like a second.
Okay, so he takes that small second window to get away, but they see fullback here with that Invis tree. They muscle on in. Wow! That big Enchant Totem slam really, that hurts on fullback. He gets ripped down immediately, and I have to say, Fact Fiction has been doing a pretty solid performance with this Earthshaker so far. He's currently 4-1. He's got his Blink, he's got his Force. He's doing a real big impact, and he's definitely flexing his muscles with that Golden Totem right now, and they're already doing damage on that Tier 2 tower in the top lane as well. But bottom lane, they're actually making it go. They're trying to take down Ink with that heavy burst of the Mystic Flare, but they can't quite do it. Global on the return is going to force Escape to try to escape, but can he get away? Pulls out the desperate soul. Oh, Ink Dota gets baited in, but Fact Fiction also shows up and says, I want redemption. Root going to fly, but Fact Fiction actually pulls back here, then commits forward, getting up the mana to jump in there. They take down the Ursa, they take down Fuzzy Wuzzy. Fact Fiction, though, now gets trapped by the wards. Oh, this is rough. The Force Staff is available, but he's not using it. There it goes. Oh, it's too late, though. He gets bursted down from those wards. It's a 3-for-1 there. They almost got a hold of the Centaur, but good rotations to come there from Isurus Gaming, and they take it right back, and now they're going to move on forward here and go for this tower. They don't have Eye of the Storm. They don't have the wards to help with it, so it might take a bit of muscle if they want to try to take it down.
Radiant's bottom tower is
and they have Fortify up. I'm actually surprised they won the fight like that.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, you know what? I bet I know why people were saying there might be a bit of echo. Do you use speakers instead of a headphone?
No, I don't.
Oh, maybe your speaker. Or
Wait,
maybe your
is there
headphone
still
just...
echo?
No, but like I can smallly hear. I think I hear like a storm spirit somewhere somehow. Anyways.
That's my announcer.
Oh, okay. Oh, I hear you. It's okay. Well, Jakiro gets blown the hell up, so there's not much more about that. Also, Skywrath Mage. So a support for support here. It looks like maybe SENS are considering pushing on forward, but no, they drop a ward instead, which is actually already countered from that sentry. But
Radiance is up on Spectre.
very nice grab. 20 minutes in. Not too bad. Not too bad on your Ink Dota Spectre right here. But no, I think it is just, maybe your headset is just like loud or something, and your mic picks up your own headset a little bit. If you want to turn the game volume down a hair, that could help, I guess, a bit for yourself. If you don't mind not hearing heroes yell loudly in your ear. That could help. It's a feeling out process, you know. I know this is your first time stepping as co and a good friend of mine, and I'm happy to aid you in any way possible. So it's no problems to me. Is still pushing here in the bottom lane. It's SENS. They pull up the fortification though. You got to glyph it. And oh, full jump in from a committed Centaur, but the Force Staff does aid, and a return fire from Fact Fiction throws out the shiny Fisher, and just a tit for a tat. A little bit of that footsie play. No commitments happening yet, but there is a lot committed on this bottom lane. This allows Ink Dota to farm up on the mid lane, and Pepita, the other core, to farm up on the top. Oh, caught out. Fisher, block, silence here. They can try to lock down DDX, and they will. The big Enchant Totem swing is the last final blow to take down DDX, and we'll see if SENS look to push on forward. But like you were talking about before, you know, with this Treant Protector on your team, it's going to be a lot for them to try to take down these towers. They took down one Tier 1 top lane, but, you know, they'll have to work a lot harder. He needs to heal up this bottom Tier 1 tower. But they get it on Tier 1 themselves, and with that said, your net worth, it's in SENS' favor. It's pushing up towards 4K, and they're looking like a pretty good start for them. But what would you think here? For Isurus to try to take this game back, I mean, what would you consider doing in their position?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They have to pick off the
Dire's
Spectre,
structures are fortified.
and then they should push a tower or something.
Get a hold of Spectre, take her down. The problem is she's very slippery with that dagger, and with that haunt, it's not going to be an easy task. And you know, he has the free will to farm it out. And he could just global into any fight he feels that they have the upper hand in. And that could happen here. They actually take down 2 towers back to back, so very good swing there. Oh man, heavy burst on Nidara. The Skywrath Mage is a little too far forward, gets caught out. The curse going to go as well. And now Loomdom on the retreat out. No more root available here, but big Echo Slam from Fact Fiction. Takes down the Centaur, followed up with your Fissure. DDX on the retreat out. Desperation as he pulls out the electric field, but he can't. They can't finish him off. He gets away. Return fired from Pepita, but it's fullback who gets the double kill. Ice Path, Liquid Fire, fullback really low. That curse is going to take him down, and a double kill as it is Jakiro to get the last hit on that one. Looks like a 2 for 3, and that kid's a savage indeed. There's your fight recap to show. It's 3 for 2. Mechs used of abundance, lots of ults as well expended. But wow, big stuff here. They're not giving anything easy. It looks like Isurus has that window of opportunity to open up, but they have great follow-up and great positioning here, especially when you got your Ziz Silencer waiting in the back, getting out some good curses, and great right-clicks in. And, you know, he has that Agnems as well, so it's becoming quite frustrating here for Isurus, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're just losing fights and losing towers. They might try to sneak a Roshan with the Ursa. That's another thing they could do.
I know, I'm surprised they haven't had the opportunity to complete one just yet. Before it was SENS who were capitalizing on top of a fight to move in there and take it themselves. But yeah, you got Pepita, you got your wards. It shouldn't take too much effort if they won. They did want to take down a Roche, but this is the new map. This is Roche's new home. It's not as easy to slip in there without giving all that vision away. But SENS, they don't really have wards over here, so I guess they wouldn't know what's happening. They have a ward back over here, though. Oh, yeah. They're looking from behind. And for Ziz, he continues to farm it out here on the bottom lane. Jakiro picks up his own 4 staffs, so I was expecting him to pick up a lot more of those, 4 staffs because it works so well for him going against Isurus.
Yeah, the 4 staff is really good against their team.
What sort of prize is this?
I mean, it's, for the Mystic Flare, getting out of the static link, getting away from her. So they're going on top lane here. Nice fissure, and Ink is going to commit on this one. And DDX was hoping he'd be able to have an opportunity to farm up on the side, but he gets quickly taken down. That was a great setup again from Fact Fiction on that Earthshaker as this frickin' creep is blocking him from getting out as he fights it and bullies it on down. And 20-12 here. You know, Isurus looked very, very good in their previous series, 2-0ing. I'm trying to think of who it was. They 2-0'd. Oh,
House is down?
But they don't get it. Oh, yeah, the house is down. Yeah, see, you knew it. I was casting it, and I didn't even know it. Uh-oh, Peter trying to get away. He was trying to do Roche, but they know. They move on in, and unfortunately, Mr. Sweet Escape is not going to be able to get out there. And, wow, they quickly burst down Skywrath as well. Ziz, man. That global just does so much damage to the flimsy Skywrath Mage that he has nothing to contribute after that point. And, you know, I hate to be one of those guys, but according on, Reddit, someone, really pointed out how great a silencer can be against some of these primary pickups like your Skywrath Mages, like your Voids. And, I mean, there goes to show that once he gets his Agnem Scepter and now he's building towards his Refresher, this Skywrath Mage is going to have nothing to do. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're making it go. Fanfiction gets saved with a living armor, looking to go back in, waiting for Blink. 2 more seconds, but the wards are going to prevent that, but fullback is not going to be so lucky on getting away. He gets taken down. Tempting time on your Jakiro, also on a spree of his own. He's 7-3 on the Dragon. He's got Yules as well.
14 assists. He's doing really good.
Doing great work here. The Yules helps out as well. You can simply Yule someone up and land up the easy ice path, but he gets one right there and bullies back Pepita from committing. And I would imagine that Liquid Fire is not going to be Ursa's best friend, as he is a man who favors on heavy attack speed. Meanwhile, jump in. They want Fact Fiction. Oh, there you go. They finally get the lockdown and Mystic Flare combo they've been hunting for so long, and they take down that Fact Fiction. And that boy had a bounty, so he gets a little bit of extra gold for that one. It looked like Pepita's considering making a jump in himself, but this is their best opportunity. Whenever, this is the thing for SENS. They have big global presence, all right? But the problem is after they expend those ultimates, that's the window of opportunity for Isurus to try to go back at him. And let's say SENS go for a fight, commit all their ultimates, and don't really get much done. it's going to be rough when Isurus look to go return fire.
Yeah, and if they could bait out Haunt and then Stampede or something,
Dire's middle
then
tower is under attack.
that'd be really good for them.
Dire's structures
They could probably
are
fight them
fortified.
afterwards. Also, Ursa is a BKB now. Maybe he
Dire's
can do
middle
something.
tower has fallen.
Now that BKB will help, of course, against one silence, but already Ziz is working towards having 2 of them, so even your BKBs are going to be very rough to try to time out here. If you try to make your way through the first silence with a BKB, he'll just be there to follow up with the second, and plus all the damage that's being stacked on top of that.
Dire's middle tower
It's
is
going to be a
under
real pain in
attack.
the ass, I mean, just to be frank about it, but we'll see how Isurus can manage to hold up. Your Razor does pick up his Agnum Scepter, though. So, Mech, Ags. This is looking like your typical Razor tool belt here as he uses his DD and goes towards the bottom lane. Next up, if he wants, he can go for either additional damage or maybe a refresher. We can have a bit of a rave party. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
You know, it depends. Do you think that maybe Razor's like, oh, I'll go refresher if I'm favoring heavy push, or maybe he'll pick up something else if he's going for more of a team fight? I mean, if he doesn't go for refresher, like, what do you think another good option for Razor would be at that point?
Radiant's bottom tower is
If
under
he doesn't
attack.
go for a refresher, he's probably gonna get a BKB.
Oh no! Speaking of refreshers, Ziz has
Oh, man.
brought in before 30 minutes an Ags and a refresher, and he has an
Dire's
Aegis
middle
in his
tower
pocket.
is under attack.
This is rough.
I wonder if Spectre's gonna get a refresher.
Oh, that would be dirty, and I love it. Right now he's got a Yasha though, so this could be just a Manta instead. But he could hold that reliable
Yeah, he's
and
not gonna go for it yet, but
in the future.
maybe if it
yeah.
goes late enough.
Well, that's the thing I've seen many a time. Even if you bring a Spectre down, let's say, and he has buyback money, you just buy back, pop refresher, and haunt back into the fight, no problem. But here we go. There's your first global going to come up right now, and they get Nidara easy with that one. Is he going to expend the second one? I would imagine not. They don't really have a good opportunity to move on in. They'd rather just clean up this tower, and with the help of Liquid Fire, it's going to be relatively easy. Meanwhile, you see that it's fullback on your Shadow Shaman who's desperately trying to get a split push happening here in the top lane. Like, oh, just I want to get a tower or something, please. But now he sees rotations to come. It's going to be Loomdon. Starts with the Invis, so they actually can't get a hold of a Shackle or anything. He's got to be careful. Fullback's eating the tower right now, and he does blink back and away. Meanwhile, over by the Secret Shop on the side of the Dire, it's Ink Dodo who's scouting out with the Haunt right there. He actually does commit and go in here, but he's got to be careful. Pepita looks to make a go. He's trying to duck and dive through these trees, maybe trying to finish off that Centaur, but can't quite catch up with them. Pepita can't get a hold of him. The Curse is going to catch. Escape might fall here. Oh, yeah, he's done for. Ziz. Right-click in. It's Tempting Time, though, who gets the last hit in and enhances his dragon spree. I guess Tempting Time will...
What is he at now?
He knows how to
Three?
train a dragon. Am I right? Am I right?
2 dragons.
The two-headed dragon. A bit of a nightmare for a Disney movie, I guess, but...
Looks like Razor is going for the BKB though.
Under attack.
Yep, he's got the Ogre Club already complete. And we'll see how he manages to hold his own. Yeah, you know, given it's not going to do much for the double global, but it does help out. Earthshaker is not going to be able to offer a whole lot. Same with Jakiro. He'll be able to get away from the lockdown of that Ice Path. Tree can, you know, help out a bit as well there as well, and it can nerf back those heroes a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I feel like Isurus are just constantly on the defensive at this point in the game, and it's going to be a bit for them to even consider going on the offensive, while SENS are holding their own in these majority 4 versus 5 engagements, and that allows Ink Dodo to just continue to farm up. He was having a bit of difficulty in the bottom lane at the start of the game, but right now the world is kind of his oyster here as he continues to... Now he already has nearly 3K. It's... I don't know, man. SENS have the Spectre to fall back on. Isurus are just like, hopefully we can get some heavy push going. It's looking pretty good for the Radiant side.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. There's that Force Staff going to use as he sends his Dragon a-flying down to the low ground here, and they can't quite catch up. Even the Ice Path for a bit of zonage to keep them back. But meanwhile, on the side Secret Shop, Loomdom scouts out a fullback, pulls out the root. Now these guys are going to go to town, beating the hell out of fullback right there, and he has nothing he can do about it. And now even your Treant Protector really benefiting from that blink. And mind you, you can blink while in Viz and still not be revealed. One of the benefits of being a tree under the nature's skies, I suppose. But here we go. SENS maybe considering going for a first high ground assault here. They don't have global, but they do have the refresher in case they do need to use it. So they can start slowly sieging in, I would imagine, with this Liquid Fire and try to whittle down this mid-tier 3 tower.
Yeah, and Spectre's gonna go push out bottom. He can haunt in whenever.
Look at this guy. Look at this.
What the?
He is a secret covert here, waiting it out. He'll probably wait for his root to come up, and that's going to be the surprise motherfucker coming in from behind, I would imagine, for Isurus Gaming. They don't know. He's just sitting there getting all sorts of sweet information. Oh, he gets forced. Oh, his own team forced him forward. I think they're just fucking around at this point. I mean, they didn't have the vision. Did they? Was that a force step from their own team? No, yeah, it was. Oh, Stampede. They want more. Ink Dota returns back with a haunt to shuffle him back into base. Oh, the Ice Path almost connects, but Ink Dota cleans up. Double kill for both the Ink Dota. Ziz once more. Pepita gonna get caught out now. They're looking to go on through. No respect here from SENS as they clean out the rest of Isurus Gaming. Looking very strong here. And that's good game. Fullback says we've had enough. Very strong performance from SENS. They pull out a nice little fun global tactic strat. And Isurus think they have an easy game here. They pull out the Ursa that I haven't seen in quite a while, but it just comes up short. So real promising game there for SENS. And remember, this is a best of 3, so Isurus have the opportunity to come back and take it to a game number 3. And now SENS are going to be on match point. Nurla, any last thoughts on that match?
Not really. SENS was played really well.
I think they knew at the point they had it in the bag with that fun little self-force staff play at the end. I think they felt very confident. Yeah, that was funny. So, impressive play here from SENS. Ziz goes 7-0 on his silencer, not even being taken down once, and it's all them. And we'll see how it works out, though, in game number 2, folks. Thanks for hanging around. Of course, this is the Summit 2 brought to you by G2A.com. Catch us live right now on the Beyond the Summit 2 channel. Make sure you're following. If you haven't already, you can get that sweet ticket, that sweet Husky Courier in the store. It's $9.99. That hooks you up with the Dota TV experience. And, of course, I am Coddle Guy. Catch me over on Twitter at Coddle Guy. But joining me is the Tengen member and one of my good friends, Mr. 2Nurla. Sir, where can they find you on Twitter if they cared to follow?
At 2Nurla. At
2Nurla. That's number 2 Nurla. So thanks for coming out, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Sit tight.